Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a great day today. I'm having a fabulous day. You guys already know it's Granna, so it's time to go ahead and hop on into this conversation. Okay, so I know you guys have been seeing the story all over. I mean, it's like on national news now, but there's a YouTuber. Her name is Ruby Frank. Okay, and she has a YouTube channel that she's were promoting parenting skills and how she parent her kids. And along with her partner name is Jody Hildebrand, and this woman had like over 2 million followers over the past 3 years, and she goes on there. I think it's called the Eight something. I don't know. I haven't watched her channel because once I heard this story, I didn't even want to go back and look at her channel and hear anything that she had to say on parenting skills or anything, because it's just disturbing from what I've read and heard so far. You know how she was treating her children. Now, she was married, and they said that her husband didn't have anything to do with this, with her YouTube. His name is Kevin, I believe it is, and he didn't have anything to do with this. Okay, but one of her sons, he was 12 years old, managed to climb out of a window and run over to a neighbor's house asking for help. They was at the home of her her business partner, and he managed to get away and go to a neighbor house, and he was asking for help, and the neighbor was saying that the child had duct tape around him. He was malnutrition. He had been a multiple physical injuries or on him, or torture, starvation, malnutrition, and that his life was in jeopardy and causing severe emotional harm to two of her children. And so of course they called the police and everything, and they took this little boy to the hospital to take care of him. I don't understand how someone. That's why, guys, I say social media can be so dangerous. I'm telling you, people get into social media, YouTube and TikTok and Instagrams and all this stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if you're doing it in a positive way. But people get on these accounts and they start increasing their followers. And when they're getting their followers over millions of followers, of course they're getting paid for it. So they gotta keep it coming. And they draw in certain people that become their followers, and that's their support. That's how they're getting paid. Because once you get a big follow, then a different advertising company pay you to advertise their business on the channels that you have and stuff. So I don't understand how all these followers and people that was following her did not see that this method that she was putting out there, and these different techniques that she said she used to raise her kids wasn't right. Just not right at all. I mean, it's like the whole system failed these kids, and everyone around them failed these kids. The husband, once she was arrested, and they started talking to other family members, they was saying that they was trying to get the kids away from her and to save her kids. It's just crazy. I'm looking at this one news release on August the 31st. It said that department, they received a call on August the 30th about a child who was appeared to be malnutrition. The child who had open wounds and duct tapes around their extremities and was asking for food and water. So that means this little boy was extremely, he was to the point where he was trying to survive and get away from this. The child was Frankie's 12-year-old. Like I said, he climbed out the window at the business partner's house and sought help at a neighbor's house. And the condition of the juvenile was so severe that they were seen by Santa Clara's EMS and transferred to a local area hospital, department said. And then they said authorities soon found another child in a similar condition at a nearby home and took that child to the hospital. And that's when they got a warrant to search. And there they said 4 other children was taken into care of the Department of Child and Family Service, and Frankie and her partner was arrested at that time. Then they said after the arrest, Frankie's sister, Ellie, well, I'm not going to say their name, but Frankie's sisters, 2 sisters who had large social media following, also posted a joint statement on Instagram saying they have for years tried to make sure Frankie's kids were safe. That don't make no damn sense to me, because how is it for years you've tried to make sure that your nieces and nephews were safe when they were still in her house, still in her care, and they hadn't been taken out? I mean, did they not go to the Child Protective Service? Did they not report her? Did they not send welfare out there to check on the kids to make sure the kids was good? I mean, what did they do over the years that they're saying they did to make sure these kids was protected and not being harmed? Because if they've been trying to protect these kids for years, there should have been some more action taken, you know. So I don't know. I don't understand that statement from her sisters saying that they had been trying to, you know, make sure her kids were safe for years. And and then the husband, Kevin, Frankie, you know, he's saying that he didn't have anything to do with that. And the lawyer for him, last week, his lawyer represented him in the interest of keeping his children together in his case, that he could not comment on the case and stuff. So I don't get it. It said something about a voicemail left with the partner counseling business seeking comment last week was not returned. Of course it was not returned. Of course the business partner is not going to respond on it, because she was a part of it. They was in cahoots with keeping these followers and increasing their followers and making this money from social media. So they was doing whatever they needed to do to keep that going. I did read somewhere where they said that she said, they showed a clipping that Ruby said that she wouldn't give the kids any food till they was done with their chores. Okay. So that, you know, she said if they don't do the chores, they don't eat. That doesn't even make any sense. A parent is there to take care of their kids. A parent is there to provide the necessities. They're there to feed them, to clothe them, to make sure they have a home, a safe place to stay. And just their necessity, just the necessities is the things that parents are responsible for doing for their children. Okay, if they don't finish their chores, there's so many other different ways they can discipline that child, take away things that entertains them, things that they're excited about, things that they like. You do that, but you do not withhold water. You do not withhold food from them. It doesn't make any sense how this woman was able to do this and talk about it to millions of followers weekly, and nothing was done up until a couple of weeks ago. It doesn't make any sense. It seems like the whole system and everyone surrounding those kids failed those kids. They failed them. The husband, the sisters, and anyone else that was involved around those kids that did not get them out that situation. I think I read somewhere, because I think her oldest child is like 20 years old, and that child said she had also tried to get her sisters and brothers away from her mom, because she did not believe in the teaching of the religion that her mom was participating in and being a part of. So she had tried to get the kids away. It's crazy how society these days gets so caught up in making this easy money, because I mean that's kind of what it is, because you're sitting behind a camera, or you're sitting behind technology, sending out these videos and recruiting getting all these people to join you. And once they subscribe and become followers, and that pumps you up and make you feel good, like you got all these peoples and you can make this money. It seems so easy to make this money, and some people does it without even thinking about any different types of consequences, or whoever they may be putting in danger when they're doing these videos. And it's just crazy. I talked a couple of weeks ago about how dangerous the internet or social media can be, with just people, right, period, putting out rumors and false information about people. But when you see cases like this that's involving a child or children's, and no one is stepping up to protect that child, it's just really sad. It's really sad. I mean, of course, we that do this, and I'm not gonna say I'm that good at it, because I don't have no 2 million followers. But people that gets on here and do these, bloggers or whatever you want to call them, it's a job to some people, and this is how they make their living. But you should never do something like this if it's gonna jeopardize someone else's safety or someone else's health, especially a child. Take it to that extent where you don't even care about your own child, and you just using that child and to make this money off of people, while you sitting back here putting yourself out like that. And then it's just plain stupid, because eventually you're gonna get caught. You're putting yourself out there in the public. You're on social media. Now they say, I think I read somewhere where they have already deleted her channel and all that, but none of that matters, because it's already been put out there. It's already been put out there. These kids has already been damaged. They're not going to be able to take back. It's going to take years for these kids to recruit from all that mental and physical abuse that they went through, and what they had to deal with. When you're mentally beat down, and on top of physically and mentally being beat down, it does something to a child. It breaks their spirit. It breaks them down. And people don't understand the total effect that it does to a child. I mean, there are things that has happened to me in my childhood that I still remember clearly today, and it bothers me. I never understood how anyone could abuse a child, and especially someone that you brought into this world and you claim to love, and you're doing it for monetary value. That's what you're doing it for. That's what you're getting out of it. And you're on here, and I'm seeing these different clips on social media when I was researching this, and she's acting, she's like a smile on her face, like she's not doing anything wrong. And you're telling people you're not feeding your children. You're telling people, all these crazy methods that you're using to raise your child. That's crazy. They don't need to get out of jail. Her and her partner need to stay in jail. I know they got arrested. They got arrested with 6 accounts of aggravated assault, and negligent child abuse. And I think each one of those counts is like $10,000. It should be more than that. They need to be, they fine should be more than that. They should not even get out of jail. It's crazy. So guys, when you're on these social media and you're becoming a follower to some of these different channels and stuff like that, before you become a follower, watch these channels, check them out, see what they're talking about, see what their whole thing is about. Dig into it and see what it's about. I watch a lot of YouTubes, I watch a lot of TikTokers and Instagrams, but I don't follow all of them. I may click on them just to see what they're talking about, and if it's not something positive or something that's really, educational or entertaining, that's not going to harm anyone, then I might be a follow them. I might. But every time you follow them, you're adding more dollar signs to their check. You're giving them more money, And that's what they're doing. And when they start seeing that money, they're getting greedy. So they'll use any content that they can to keep those followers coming in and keep that money coming in. They don't care who you are or what you're doing, as long as you're following them and you're watching their content and you're staying there and you're increasing their income. And while they're getting this income, this woman's sitting up here abusing her kids, not feeding her kids. What are you doing with all that money that you're getting from these different advertising companies? What are you doing with it? Oh my God, it makes me mad because I hate to see a child being abused. I really hate to see it when someone is abusing a child. So hopefully she gets what's coming to her and her partner. Hopefully these kids get placed in a safe place. I don't know if that's with any of their family members, because to me, just me, their family members didn't step up and do what they should have did to get them out of that situation. Should not have taken years for someone to try to get these kids out of a messed up situation. So hopefully these kids will recover and get in a safe space where they feel safe, and they will be able to thrive and move on from this tragic event that has happened to them in their little young lives. Okay. All right. Well, Granna's about to get up out of here. You guys can go and Google it at any time and read up about the YouTube mom, Ruby Franks, and her partner, and read all the things that they said about what she's done to her kids, okay? You guys have a great day, and Granna will check you out next time around. Don't forget, guys, don't just follow anybody. Do your research, okay? All right, y'all have a great day. Granna's going to check you out next time around.